Somehow we've suddenly started living in a Zoom world. So let's talk a little bit about Zoom. When I'm on a Zoom call, I can't show you some of these features because Zoom automatically blocks the Zoom windows. So I've created a quick screencastify so that I can show you how some of the features work. So this is the desktop recorder. I have simply gone to the website and downloaded the desktop app. And when you get to this desktop version, there are many different choices. First of all, you can see that I'm logged in up here in the top corner. I'm logged into my district account. And I can also see I can access some settings. And there's a bunch of other features here as well that we don't really need to get into. And we're going to talk about settings during our live meeting today. You'll also notice that there's the home button, the chat button. I don't really use Zoom for chat. I have all of my scheduled meetings listed in this section, as well as some contacts. I actually don't have any contacts. From here, I can schedule a new meeting, and whenever you see the little caret, the downward facing 2/3 of a triangle, I can click on that and it'll give me a menu. I can start with video on or off. And I can choose if I want to use my personal meeting ID or if I want to use a different meeting ID. However, I've chosen in my settings to always use my personal meeting ID, so that's the default here. I can also join a meeting, schedule a new meeting, or simply share my screen. When I click on new meeting, here I am. Hi! As you know, it'll start by connecting you. And here it's telling me that it's using my computer audio. If I'm joining a meeting, it will tell me that it'll ask me if I want to start with my video on or off and my sound on or off. So some of the things that I want to point out real quick, here I have turn on original sound. This is a setting that you can choose. And when I turn that on, so currently that's on because it's highlighted blue. What that means is typically Zoom will default and give priority to the person who's speaking. And when I have original sound turned on, it means that I can still hear everyone the same. So it sounds like everyone's talking over each other. I like that because I can't stand it when I can see that someone's talking and I can't hear them. And I wish I could tell Zoom, just let them talk. So I turn on original sound here and that allows me to hear everyone's voices. I also have exit full screen in the top corner here, and I can turn that on or off. And normally it would also allow you to either go into gallery view or speaker view up in the top corner here. I have more options down here. I can go to live to Facebook, I can go to reactions, breakout rooms, all of these things you normally see as well. Note that with share screen, there are options for one participant sharing at a time or multiple sharing simultaneously. That's also a setting that we're going to go over today when we go through the settings. And there's advanced sharing options as well. So can they share that with all participants or only with the host? And can they start sharing simultaneously when someone else is sharing? So maybe a student can begin sharing their screen while I'm hosting and sharing my screen, but not when other students are. So if you want them to be able to share their screen at the same time as you would say only host. If you'd like two students to be able to share their screen simultaneously, you would click all participants. Okay. When you go to chat, which I don't know if it's going to let me right now because I'm all alone, note that participants can chat with no one, the host only, or everyone publicly. So this is important to note because with our Sac City or with any educator account right now, they've disabled the ability to chat one-on-one. Most of you already know that. So whereas students used to be able to chat directly with each other, I feel awkward because I'm behind the square. Now they can only either chat with everyone publicly or just with you or to no one. They would also choose those settings down here, but there's no one else in here, so I can't currently select anything. Down here where it says stop video, there I went. My son keeps changing my background picture. There are settings. See, there's an upward facing caret here, which means that there's a menu. You can go into which camera you would like to use. You can also choose your virtual backgrounds here. So I'm going to show you how to do that really quickly. Some of you just went virtual backgrounds. Again, that was down here where it says stop video. If you're on an iPad, all of these features exist, just in a different place on your screen. I believe this video button would be over there if you're on an iPad. So again, click the little menu caret, go to choose virtual background. Don't judge the different backgrounds I have in here. You'll notice some of them have the little video icon in the bottom corner. That means that they are a moving background or a live background or a video background. It's really not wanting to load, so that's what that looks like. Now sometimes it shows up pixelated where it kind of shows the background but not really, and it doesn't come through properly. That 100% has to do with your computer's video card. So the graphics that are pre-built into your computer determine whether or not the background looks solid like this or is a little bit choppy. So unfortunately, if that is an issue for your computer, I recommend using a green screen or a solid image in the background. If you wanted to upload your own background image, virtual background, you click the little square here and then just simply upload an image from your computer directly. So first you would need to go to the internet, find the picture that you want or the video, download it to your computer, and then you could upload it to Zoom. If you would like assistance with that process, I'm happy to help you. Just let me know. And there are also audio settings here. If you click on here, you can switch to phone audio, you can test your speakers, you can also go into audio settings. So this is a good time for me to take you through and show you what the settings are here in general. I don't start Zoom when I start Windows. I leave that unclicked. When it's closed, I minimize the window to the notification area instead of the taskbar. I'm not using dual monitors, but if you are, I recommend you check that. Entering full screen automatically, I really like that. If some people are working on something in the background and you don't want it to enter full screen, leave that unchecked. Automatically copy the invite link once the meeting starts is really handy if you're sending this out to people, and that way you don't have to go digging for what was the link, I need to add people. If you don't have that checked, the place where it's easiest to find your meeting ID link is under Participants, Invite, and your meeting ID is right here, and your password is down at the bottom. You can copy the invitation link or copy the invitation directly from here, or if you have this synced with your contacts, you can just email people directly there. Doesn't really work well with students though, inviting by email. Getting back into our settings. Ask me to confirm when I leave a meeting. So normally when you click end down at the bottom here, it'll say, do you really want to leave this meeting? So you can turn off that. Show how long I've been connected would just simply show you a running record of how long you've been on Zoom. And you can have a reminder for any upcoming meetings. You can also stop video and audio when my display is off or when my screensaver begins. And I love that you can change your reaction skin tone. Super important, so here that is. I got my little yellow hand. Here in video settings, and you notice that did say more video settings or view more settings. We're going to get into that in our Zoom call. So I've chosen which camera I'm using. I'm enabling HD. You could mirror your video so that you see yourself mirrored, right? So that you're on the same side, but then it looks funny to everyone else. Totally up to you. If you're teaching, that's sometimes really helpful because then you can, when you're pointing, right, you're pointing to where you're actually pointing. So that can be really nice. You can also have it touch up your appearance. It just gives you like a little day glow effect. You see, so not touched up, wrinkly. Touched up, not wrinkly. There you go, wrinkles, no wrinkles. I like my normal face, so I just leave it off. Always display participant names on their video for teaching, for students. That's really important. And I tell my students, leave your video, leave your name how it is. Don't mess with your name. I need to be able to see your name. I used to have turn off my video when joining a meeting, but now I leave it on and I'm just prepared. But that's something nice if you're joining a meeting and you don't like to be on right away, it kind of startles you. You can control when you turn on your video. And here, always show video preview dialogue. I like that because I can take a minute to like, oh, there I am. That's what I look like. Or maybe I have a background that is from an old meeting that I don't want anymore, you know? So it gives me a minute to just orient and make sure that everything looks just right. Hiding non-video participants means if anyone has called into the meeting, you can hide them so that you don't see them. I like to be able to see that they're there. Spotlight my video when I speak would mean that as the host of the meeting, anytime you're speaking, it automatically makes your screen big for everyone else in the meeting. Okay, the rest of these we're going to get into when we get into our Zoom meeting, so I'm going to leave those for now. If you have any additional questions, I'm happy to do another one of these, and I will upload this to YouTube so that you have access. Thank you so much for joining.